Hi everyone, Jim Rizoli here with my brother Joe, and we're on the road. And this is going to be a new feature for Connected Dots, which is produced by Diane King, because we're going to be in it. And this part of the show is going to be called Say It Ain't So with Jim and Joe. And what we're going to be doing is discussing articles in the paper pertinent to things going around our town, our cities, and maybe even across the country,
our universe.
Because we feel that since we've been pretty much banned on AFTV in Framingham, the communist checker station there has done a very nice job stopping our freedom of speech in that town.
Everybody has.
And what we notice when it comes down to free speech, the only free speech there is the free speech of the people who want to take our free speech away. So that's why, we try to do videos ourselves, and now that we have an avenue to get them on Connected Dots, which is, again, like I said, produced by Diane King on Ashland, we appreciate that we have this time. Of course, you can find most of my videos on YouTube. If you did a search for J Rizoli, just plain J Rizoli or Rizoli, you'll come up with them, R-I-Z-O-L-I. And I have hundreds of videos on YouTube, but they deal with, specifically a topic that AFTV and Framingham didn't want to deal with. And that is a topic dealing with World War II history and our viewpoint of the Holocaust and things of that, genre. So, it's amazing how people can stop you from having an opinion, and that's all it is an opinion. We're just trying to give people our side of the story. In other words, there's two sides of every story, okay, except for the Holocaust issue. And people don't want to hear it, and it's really sad because, when you think about God, when you think about religion, you got two sides of religion, right? People will give you one side of a religion, and then they'll say, oh, here's another side to it. Or politics, you got Democrats, Republicans, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to our favorite topic, which is a discussion of the Holocaust issue, for some reason it really causes people to have a hard time with it. And we know why. We're not going to get too deep into it. But again, there's a group of people that are running the world that are censoring the truth, dealing with a lot of different topics. So anyway, but the topic we are going to discuss today, at this point anyway, has to do with an article that was in the paper today in the Boston Globe. Actually, Metro West News has it too. And it deals with English being taught in the school systems with the kids.
What's happened in the United States, what's happened in our cities, and well, now that Framingham is a city, I suppose, after January 1st, what's happened is that the illegal immigrants have overpowered our system so much, whereas in the Boston Globe a couple of weeks ago, it said that 10% of some of the school systems, 10%, 90,000 children, are ELL, English language learners, meaning that they've come to this country. Some of them don't even know how to speak English,
and that's doubled in so many years because the fact that the illegal immigrants are just pouring into Massachusetts.
Right, and so the issue is, the biggest question, my question is right off the bat, why? Why are they coming here? Why are they being allowed to come here? I mean, in the Boston Globe, it was talking about some of the kids taking the ELL courses, and it says the woman came from, I think, Colombia or San Salvador or somewhere, and she says she wants to be a doctor and stuff. And she goes, I came here, I didn't speak a word of English. Well, my question is, how the hell did you get in the country? I mean, in other words, why are you here? See, that's the issue. Why are these people here in the first place? We have rules dealing with, coming into this country, visa rules and this and that. And these people are, and for the most part, most of them are breaking the law. And the towns look at it, well, they're here, and this is what my state rep said, they're here and we've got to do something about it, and so it's good for us to teach them English because it's going to help them in the future anyways. Well, yeah, that's all good, but let's stop the blood gushing out right at the moment here. We're in a hemorrhage situation, bringing all these kids into the school system. I mean, you just can't do it. Now, the article that I was looking at last night in the paper was interesting, because see, I didn't read the paper today. Jimmy did, but I'm assuming I think it's kind of interesting.
Well, I can tell you what it says.
Okay, but I think you can say, but let me just say, I see a pattern here happening with the news, because you got to remember, the newspapers are delivered by illegal immigrants. Okay, so they're not going to buck anybody. In our town, we always made a complaint about the illegals. So you know what the newspapers did? They subletted. They didn't want to get blamed for having the illegals, because it's a felony if you know.
They're not hiring them directly.
Right.
They subcontract the delivering of the paper out to another company.
Right. So they can't
be blamed.
Yeah.
Because they would get fined.
Right.
All right. If they were shown to be hiring.
It's a federal felony. So now they got their hands off. Of course, everybody's delivering the newspapers now are all, Brazilian or Mexican or whatever, and this is how they get away with it. So the newspapers are going to be very liberal now when it comes to the CLL and all this stuff, and they're just going to, well, let's work with it, and we'll tell you about the system and how it's working and this and that. So in the paper, I forget if it was Chelsea or one of those inner Boston towns, it was talking about some of the schools where this program of teaching the kids English is actually working, and I'm saying to myself, huh? How the hell is this program working? Because in order to really learn English, you have to be immersed in it, and unless a person's immersed completely in English, it's going to take them years and years to pick it up. And so for some reason, this school seemed to have a little bit of hedge over everybody else, which probably gave everybody else the reason to change now the bilingual law, which was in 2002. The 60% of Massachusetts voters voted out bilingual education to have an English language immersion program. And now, because, like I said, there's so many illegal immigrants here, and they got such big mouths and they want everything. They want to not only teach the kids English, but they want to teach the kids English in their history, their culture, and their language. And that's the issue.
What's happening is, which is very strange, because you've never seen anything like this. They're actually bringing these kids into the country and bringing their country with them.
Yeah.
So in other words, these kids are being immersed in their culture. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but your culture should be taught within your family. It doesn't have to be taught in a school system.
Right.
And so they're not really being assimilated as Americans. They're being assimilated as their culture, and then they're Americans, which causes a big problem in how the United States functions.
Right, because there's people that now are divided. They're not one group of thinking people anymore. The South American people have a real different thinking about documents and all this fraud and this and that. They don't care. When they come, like for instance, Brazil is huge on document fraud. There's certain places you go to get your licenses and this and that. It's huge. It's a big money making program.
Well, everybody is corrupt in South America. Okay,
yeah.
It's just a normal way of thinking. That's how they think. America, people, because of the Christian background, most of them anyway, they don't really think about doing those type of criminal activities. But in South America, in order to exist, you have to be corrupt and you have to have false documents and everything about your life.
Well, if you go to another country.
Okay, so then they're bringing their bad habits here. That's what they're doing. Okay.
Yeah. So from the get-go, the foundation of these people is corruption. And it's one that's filled with lies and dishonesty, and these are the things that obviously a culture or a country would not want. You want people in your country that are going to assimilate and be honest, but right off the bat they come here and they're telling lies. They're filling out documents wrong. They're taking ESL courses. Oh yeah, this is the point I was going to bring about the ESL. So the article that I was reading last night in the paper, it's funny. People aren't reading all this. They're not looking into this, what it really means. When I see an article, I look into it a little bit deeper than most people are reading the article. So the article is saying, you know, in this town, city where they're doing all this ELL stuff and it's working, well, they're going to teach the parents English too. I mean, after all, the kids coming home and the parents don't speak English, right? So we got to teach them. Now, remember, they're not in the country legally. They're breaking the law, okay? They're not here legally. For us to do anything with illegal immigrants is in violation of federal law. It's called aiding and abetting illegal aliens in their state in America. And there's fines and everything that go with this. But, hey, after all, we've got to be one big happy family. You know, that they were talking about, you know, all the schools want to be one happy group of people. And they, you know, they swamped into the school system, took over the school boards, or talked into the school board's ears. Yeah, you put a sparrow in a cage with a parakeet. The parakeet is going to, you know, remember the parakeet is beautifully, you know, sounding and, you know, emulates, you know, beautiful music or whatever.
It sings, Joe.
Yeah, it sings and whatever. Yeah, but it talks and chirps and things. But when a sparrow comes into the cage, that whole bird changes.
The whole dynamics changes because what's happening is
takes on the personality.
What happens is you're getting something that's really good. The parakeet that has a lot of things it can do, okay? And then you get kind of like a dumbed down sparrow that's all the sparrow knows how to do is chirp. Okay, that's it. But what happens is the parakeet doesn't rub off on the sparrow. The sparrow rubs off on the parakeet, and eventually the parakeet stops singing. That's what happens when you put two dissimilar things next to each other.
So we've got that in the towns now with the illegals. They've swamped the town so much, and all they do is complain. They want more, and this is where we are now. So the point is now they're going to teach the parents English. What does that mean? They can't do it in a real school on school time, so they have afternoon stuff, and we have in Framingham. It's called the ESL Plus program. Now, funny, you know what the plus stands for? The plus means that they're going to become. They're teaching them to become U.S. citizens. It's kind of laughable.
Well, the only way that could happen is if they just disavow all their false documents. And you can't do that because these people had to have a starting point legally coming here. So now, what the United States and all the liberal loony birds in Massachusetts are doing here, probably all over the country, but what they're doing here, they're kind of wiping out their past and saying, oh, you're here and we're going to make you a U.S. citizen, but you don't have to have any proof of legality from your past life or whatever you did in your past life. You're going to become legal here, and they'll give you everything that they can give you illegally to become, quote, legal.
Okay, now here's the problem with that. See, a person's 25 years old. Now, what is his past life? In other words, did he get arrested? Has he been arrested for sex violations or, you know, bouncing checks? No. See, what happens when they come to America and they get involved in all these programs, we don't know anything about their past. Nothing. So they come here, they got and I've written about this, you know, till the cows come home. You know, you write to the state reps, they don't give a shit. Their past is gone. So they're coming here. You could have child molesters or anybody. You know,
they say
10%.
Yeah, 10% of the immigrants, legal or illegal,
sexual,
I would think, they have criminal records. Okay, so let's just say, for the sake of argument, you had 1 million that came in 1 year.
Oh my goodness.
So that means that's 100,000 people with criminal records.
Right.
It's a given. Okay, it's a given. They can say all they want about the nice ones, but let's just deal with 100,000 bad ones that are bringing bad habits here. That's what we're dealing with here. And you know, the people, these state reps and all our politicians, they don't care because they're allowing illegality to come right in without questioning.
They're only concerned with helping these people because we don't want the kids, you know, to speak English and the parents. Not, oh my God, it's going to ruin the household. Hey, How many times in my household, my mother spoke English. My grandmother, over years and years and years, finally picked it up. They put up with it all these years. Right. You know, in other words, so the ESL programs are corrupt to the core. Lying SOBs, the people that run these programs and framing them. You know, you get a lot of them, you know, belong to the, you know, Catholic Church, the Jewish synagogues, because they're all liberal, save the whale, we got to help the illegal immigrant. And they don't care. See, they don't care. And the problem is, you know, do we have rule of law or not? Do we have rules that tell people how to come into this country? And that's the situation with these programs now that are teaching English. This isn't just helping kids teach English. This is a whole complicated mess that they're allowing, and they should be stopping it. Nobody should be in that ESL program that's in the country illegally. But they get money, you know, the Jewish people get money when they run all these,
well, we have the churches and their organizations, whether it's the Jewish organizations, the Catholic organizations,
they're all liberal,
or even the Protestants. They're very, very liberal. They don't really care about rule of law, okay? They just care about, oh, that's a human being, we got to help this human being. And that's fine. But again, you know, when human beings, and again, like I mentioned, you know, if you had 100,000 out of 1 million people here, criminals, I mean, really, are we really here in this country to help criminals? Is that what we're trying to do here? But
so that's what they bring. They bring that whole culture. So that's what they're being taught. Can you imagine that? And what is it going to cost? Oh my God, they're not telling you that. And I noticed in one of the articles too, like I said, you got to read the articles. It says more than people are catching on. These kids that are doing really good in this ELL course, you know, wherever it was, they're teaching them after school. See, this isn't just a program that's happening during school. There's so much involved in this to have them learn English. They got to give them after school classes,
which are basically just babysitting classes.
Right.
That's what they are.
But my point is, it's more. These kids need more help than they're showing you, and they don't want to tell you that because, you know, that money's coming from private sources. See, these programs come from private sources, or so they say. You know, until we find how they're dipping into that. You know, so it's a real mess. And you know, like I said, the liberal newspapers are all coming out with these articles now because they want to pass this thing into the State House. I just sent.
Well, the governor just signed the law.
Oh yeah, okay. So that's what you read. That's what you just read.
So the governor is all for it. You know, he's all for teaching them these immigrants their culture, and teaching them English, which again is really defeating the whole purpose of people becoming American citizens, because you want them to really understand and be immersed in what America is, but that's not happening. Okay, we are back on the road again. We had to go to Cumberland Farms. Today's Thanksgiving, by the way, and free coffee at Cumberland Farms. So they have free coffee, what's it, in October? And then
so she's got to register that. Register, you know how many they gave away. That's why she was.
Oh, is that what it is? All right. So anyway, so we're back on the road again, and we're continuing our discussion dealing with the ESL program, English learners in Framingham particularly, because we have a huge problem there. And today in the paper, Governor Baker signed a bill that would kind of change things a little bit with the English learning classes now, because now the kids are going to be taught their language, okay, and their culture, okay, and they're going to be taught English. So
and their history.
And their history. So this isn't just a small thing anymore. This is a lot involved with what's happening.
These kids, some of these kids haven't even been to school. They haven't even been in a school system in their countries.
Right. So they don't even know their own language.
They don't even know anything.
And so
they're being taught up. So what they're doing is our school system is like their whole South American countries here.
Yeah, so, you know, like I mentioned in the beginning, they have moved the South American educational system to each town now,
Right.
and we had to accommodate them. Now think about this. If you went down to Brazil, you went down to South America, any country there, pick a country, and you wanted to have English courses, Portuguese courses, and you wanted to be taught, if it was a little kid, the culture of the United States. Do you think that's going to happen?
No, I don't think it would go over good with the people.
Nah.
In other words, you go down the country, you take your kids with you, and you say to the school people, "Look, I want you to teach my kid my language, my history, my culture. George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, the Gettysburg Address. I want you to teach them all that." How do you think that would go over?
Yeah. What I think what really bothers me about liberal people today is liberal people, they love to spend your money.
Right.
Okay, that's what they love to do, and they want to do all these nice things, but they
think they're fixing a problem when they're causing a bigger one.
Right. Yeah, it's amazing.
It's like teaching, communists, school to communists, and then all of a sudden they get schooled and educated, and then they riot.
Well, anyway, so this is the problem. This was the article. Governor Baker signed that law, made it into law.
No, it didn't get it. It didn't get 100%, did it?
No, he got it.
No, but it wasn't voted. Who voted against it?
Governor Baker signed the law. It's law now, okay?
Well,
doesn't matter who voted, it's law.
I'm curious.
Everybody's for it, and it's law.
All right,
okay?
well, I'm curious. There was in the Metro West Daily News, one person abstained. It was 150 to 1. And I didn't say who that person was. But 4 state reps, which I emailed, abstained. I don't know why they abstained. And I wrote them and I asked them why. Why did you abstain from this bill? Was it because they weren't there? Was it they sick? But 4. So, I don't know.
Well, again, folks, just to let you know, you're watching Say It Ain't So with Jim and Joe.
That's right.
And we're on the road discussing interesting things that have happened in the town, in Massachusetts, in the country, in the world, whatever, because we have the time to use driving, whereas normally you'd waste a lot of time driving, going somewhere. And since it is Thanksgiving, we are going down to the Cape to visit Joe's daughter, and that's what we're doing. So anyway, we figured we might as well use the time to talk about these issues. And the traffic today is not too bad.
Well,
we'll see what happens.
We'll find out.
We'll see what happens. It's about noontime, so
hopefully everybody's eating.
Right. I mean, normally the day of Thanksgiving is not a bad day to drive because
it's coming home as part.
Everybody's already, there where they're going. But locally, sometimes on the short trips, a lot of people, go down for the short trips for that day, so that's probably what's going to be happening here. All right, so I think we've covered that subject. The subject had to do, again, the ESL programs, teaching kids English in the schools, and how the governor signed a bill saying now that we're going to be teaching the kids all things relating to the kids' culture, language, and English too.
I think that you could also bring out this fact here. The Brazilians came into my town in the 1973. Some guy came here, got a job, worked, and said, "Hey," and he said, "Wow, you should see it up there," and blah 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 blah, and then he just brought it back with him. And so Framingham has been inundated since the year 1973. So from 73 until now, 2017, this is how long it's taken for them to make a beachhead and take over the town. The Brazilians in particular have basically taken over the town of Framingham.
And now they've gotten into the politics.
Right. Now they're getting into the school system, and what they're basically have ruined well, I'd say they ruined everything, but they're just doing what they want. And the proof.
Well, they're getting what they want.
Right, okay? And the proof of that is even back in 1993. You know, when the Brazilians won the World Cup. Oh my God! They came, took over the streets. There's probably 1,000 of them in the streets. Now, I wasn't involved in any immigration stuff then. You know, because we don't really live near downtown. You know, my work goes opposite where the downtown is, so I don't drive through, or so I don't see that. So I only read about it in the paper, if at that. I read about the Brazilians, dancing in the street, taking over the town. Motorcycle patrolman ran over someone's foot, and one of the selectmen at the time, John Stefanini, who now has helped these illegals immensely.
Well, he was probably the biggest politician.
Yeah, he was probably one of the biggest ones to help these people. He made the police apologize or something. Yeah, I thought it was kind of odd. But why
don't you explain? You're saying apologize for what?
Well, ran over the guy's foot.
Okay, during a soccer celebration.
Yeah, soccer celebration. They took over the town. When they came in, and remember, these people don't all live in Framingham. They're probably from all over Massachusetts and maybe Rhode Island and everywhere else. Because they came here and they said, "Hey, come on, we got to do this. Nobody's going to stop us." So they just come over.
Well, I think what's interesting, what's happened with Framingham and the Brazilians, is Framingham has become like Brazilian Central for anything that happens. Like you would think, well, why don't they celebrate the World Cup? In Boston or someplace, Somerville, or where there's a lot of Brazilians too. No, Framingham is actually Brazilian Central because they call all their friends up from those towns to come here, which I find kind of odd. The fact that that's even accepted as Brazilian Central shows that there's something going on here.
They have a radio station here.
Well, that
only radio station in the whole country, Brazilian radio station in Framingham, Massachusetts. What do you expect?
Right,
so they get on the air and they just start talking. They're not going to be talking anything. We're going to have this come down.
Yeah, and also what they talk about probably on that Brazilian radio station, and Ilma Pashao is the manager that runs it.
Oh my God.
They're probably telling these illegal immigrants all the things to do to find out where you can get free this, free that. You can get, health insurance.
Yeah.
You can get free food, free housing.
They're the first ones to sign up for everything.
Yeah. I noticed in the paper yesterday there was an article about there's been how many tens of thousands of new sign-ups to the Mass Health, and who do you think all they are?
I'd like to know how they can do it.
They do it because they have false documents, and they say that they're in the country legally. As long as you're illegal, they say you're legal, you can jump onto those programs. Well, even if they're illegal, though, the kids can get health insurance free, even if they're illegal immigrants.
A lot of the kids
but the parents now are getting Mass Health because of the fact that they use the false documents to say that they are legally in the country. So it's a lie. I mean, it's amazing that people don't get it, that using false documents is a felony, especially they use to get public services. But
and
people don't care.
And and they get a lot of stuff. Like recently, when Christmas comes around in the cold weather, they have a drive to get coats. And who's going to be the major people getting those coats? I know the homeless and a few, but mostly going to be the Brazilians because they come from a culture.
Well, not just the Brazilians, all the immigrants. We got more than Brazilians.
I understand that, but I'm saying the culture is South American.
Yeah,
the weather there is warm, and they come up here in shots. Yeah. So they're going to give them coats. Right. They recently had a thing where they give them backpacks.
Right. Well, the illegal immigrants in our area do very well. Don't kid yourself to feel sorry for them, because they do get quite a bit. I mean, most American people, that are living here, can't get the things that the illegal immigrants are getting. In regards to free services, they can't get them.
Their work is under the table, so it's all cash. So they send money back to their countries of origin. In course, we got into this in another video, but a lot of them are here because this is a whole huge program where these people come here, and they got to pay money to come here. And to come here, what they've done is they got to put up money or put up their farm, or their kids are held hostage back in Brazil, or their wife. They come here to work, and they're going to pay the money back. We talked about this already, but I'll talk about it again. And the reason why I can say this and prove this, like I said, articles come out in the paper that most people overlook. There's one guy, a legal immigrant, and his girlfriend or wife, I'm not sure what she was. He got into domestic abuse with her, pushed her, fell against the table. She was pregnant, 3 months pregnant, and she miscarried. So he's got arrested. He makes the comment that we're going to take care of your family back in Brazil, which proved everything I have said for 10 years, saying what these people are doing to come to this country. So when the state reps are so proud and happy that they're helping the illegal immigrants and the Brazilians, especially with this article that was talking about, I wrote and I said to one of the guys, Jack Lewis, the state rep, I blame you. You allowed this to happen, these people to come here, and now they're held hostage. It's like terrorism. And so they're part of this whole thing by aiding and abetting these people, and it's like, quickly I mentioned before, going to the national parks and feeding the bears. You feed the bears, they're going to come in eventually into the tent and kill somebody, eat all the food and everything else. It's not good news. That's why they specifically tell them, do not feed them. Well, what they've done here with the Brazilians is they've fed them
popcorn for the birds.
That's right, and it's going to cause things down the road. And it's going to cause things down the road in the schools. You can bet there's going to be problems with racism,
well, what's
fighting,
happening,
knives.
What's happening now that you're not hearing about it because they're not reporting it, is there's a very big cultural clash amongst the Latinos and the whites and the blacks probably too.
We had that one
because they don't like the blacks either. But so there's a cultural clash, and and then we get every now and then someone bringing a weapon to school or whatever. So the more kids into the system representing the Latino culture, the more problems we're going to have. Because what happens with cultures is, and I don't care what anybody says, everybody's proud of their culture, okay? And you should be. I'm not saying you should, but the kids today are they're immature. They watch too much TV, and they watch too many movies that show gangs fighting, and they bring that culture up here, and they bring it into the schools, and this is a problem. So and it's coming to Ashland. It's coming to I don't know about Natick is bad, because Natick's a very close knit town. Plus they have no apartments there, and that's a whole other thing. What's happening in the towns? Ashland is happening. Framingham definitely is happening. If you notice, they're building more apartments. They're building more apartments because of the illegal immigrants that are moving in. There's no place to put them anymore, because Framingham has I think 18,000 apartments. Half of the housing in Framingham is apartments, and most of those apartments on Route 9 anyway. They're inhabited by a lot of illegal immigrants.
Well, I think something's going on that we don't know about. That they know something's happening, and they're putting these here. Either we're going to have refugees by the galore come here. Well, we have a black mayor now, so there's a good chance that the blacks are going to jump on the bandwagon here.
Well, if
Framingham, and that's going to be a culture clash.
Well, that's fine. If the blacks come in, that's fine. I got no problem with it. But it's going to be a cultural clash, like you said, and it's going to cause some issues. So, people don't look at these things when people get elected. But, again, you have a black mayor, all right, and then the blacks are just going to assume that the town is, acceptable to more blacks coming in. And again, I have no problem with blacks coming in, but what's going to happen with the culture clash here? And it's not going to be a culture clash as met with the whites as it's going to be with the Latinos. That's what I think.
Well, yeah, but there's going to be some problems, and then they're going to hire more police, and then you're going to have to spend all the money to do it. I'm telling you, we're heading for hell.
Well, anyway, I think that pretty much covers that topic of what's happening with Framingham, and how we've already become a third world town. I mean a city, and it's moving to Ashland. It's moving to these other towns too, Milford. They're going in the same direction, but people don't want to think about it. Now, another topic you want to discuss had to do with a little different topic anyway, plastic bags.
Well, right? it has to do with the nutty people who want to get rid of plastic bags, plastic water bottles. You know, the goody two-shoe people, save the whale people.
Well, I noticed in Market Basket the other day they only gave us bags. There was no plastic bags there, so I don't know.
Well,
I'm wondering, is that in effect in Ashland?
Yeah, they gave you plastic bags.
No, I got paper bags.
Yeah, I know they got rid of them all
in Ashland.
Everywhere.
Oh, it's the whole state?
Yeah, Stop and Shop too.
Oh, really?
Stop and Shop, it's all paper bag. Now,
No, I was in Stop and Shop the other day. I had plastic bags.
The one in Natick doesn't.
Wow.
The one in Natick's all...
Well, I don't know. Framingham, I didn't have plastic bags. I had plastic bags.
Well, maybe, I don't know. All I know is in Natick there was bags. And I'm thinking to myself, well, that's fine. It's a nice sunny day. What happens when it rains? Right? That happened the other day. Well, and I'm thinking to myself, these bags are going to get all wet, soggy, and I got some chicken, and chicken leaks a little bit. And what did it do? It goes to the bottom of the bag, and now you got a bag that you can't even carry. See, at least with the plastic, you can put plastic inside the bag, and that will keep in the.
What I do with the plastic bags is I have really big, like, bags, not from the stores, but my own bag. That I take the plastic bags and I just throw them in that bag, and when I go bring the groceries to my aunt, 90-year-old aunt, I just throw them all on there. I can carry them up the stairs.
But the issue is, okay, I know they can pollute, but so do cigarette butts. People throw them all over the place. Let's ban cigarettes. Of course, they're not going to ban cigarettes. That's tens of billions of dollars a year. So they want to ban what they want. So these goody two-shoes. Oh, it's getting in the environment and this and that. Well, hey, why don't you teach people not to litter? How about that?
Well, how about them stop putting fluoride in our water? If you're really concerned about people's health. I mean, they're putting fluoride in our water that's killing people. As time goes on, it has a very destructive effect in the body.
Well, the point is, plastic bags is litter, and that's a problem where you got to stop people, and you got to make people cognizant of the fact that there's litter flying around. Pick it up.
Well, they don't
care. They don't give a crap.
You know what? You want to solve this problem? Put a penny on every plastic bag, and have the people bring them in and get money for them. Oh. Then you'll see they'll be just like they did with the bottle, which was really cool.
Oh, that's interesting.
Put a penny tax on every plastic bag. All right, so now you get 5 or 6. Everybody gets 5 or 6 bags when you go shopping. So now you have 5 cents worth of plastic bags. All right, so now you bring them down, and you get. It's not much, 5 cents. Okay, bring them in, and they put them in a big bin, and they recycle them. I don't know why they wouldn't do something like that.
Well, that's an interesting concept. They'd have to have something specifically there for that.
Well, you just have a big barrel. You throw the plastic bags in.
I know, but somebody's going to give you the money.
Yeah, when you go up to the register. You go up to the register and you say, how many plastic bags do you have? I have 5 or 6. Okay, you get 6 cents credit. Boom. And just here's the bin. Throw them in the bin.
Well, they could have...
Yeah, but the problem with that's going to be you have to have a bin that you can't stick your hand in, because you'll have these people coming over and grabbing all those plastic bags.
Right. Well, but the thing is, you give them like a ticket or something so they can put that into the registered number.
I think they could have thought more about this.
Right. So, but my issue is that these goody two-shoes, they gotta save. And then people at the town meeting, oh yeah, you're right. After all, I had a turtle in the pond. He struggled. He got caught in a plastic bag.
Right.
Yeah, that happened in my town.
Anyway, folks, just to let you know, you're watching Say It Ain't So with Jim and Joe.
That's right.
And this is on Diane King's show, Connect the Dots, on Ashland Cable TV. And we thought we would do a new segment for her show that talks about local issues and all sorts of interesting things that we can talk about. And we figured since we're in the car driving places for an hour, half hour, we might as well use the time to do some quality video topics.
Okay, so anyways, that's what's happening with the plastic bag net jobs. And and they're all getting it done. They're all coming in the paper. It had all the towns that are going over to this because it's so wonderful that we're green now and we're helping the environment. Thanks. Thanks a lot. Years ago, I don't want to be behind this person. Years ago, before we got into the save the environment program, we used to change our oil. Oh, I did. We used to throw it down the store. Right? You remember that, Jim?
Or in the backyard.
Or in the backyard. Well, now that they've educated us that shouldn't be done, we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So what did it take?
I wouldn't change my oil now anyway. It's cheap enough to have someone else do it.
But I'm just saying, it took education to teach people. So what am I saying? Do that.
Hey, Joe, what are you saying?
Say that so, Joe. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, right.
Teach people when they're in school not to litter. Teach them. It's like in my school bus. The kids are pigs. Teach them. Don't you teach these kids not to throw stuff on the floor? Leave pizza boxes in the back of the bus?
Obviously, Joe, these kids are not taught that.
Of course not. So, they're going to be wonderful. They're going to be a doctor, or they're going to be this. Meanwhile, they leave your bus like a pig pen. Come on.
Yeah, but that's just a
no, because it's teaching, Jim. It's teaching.
Okay, so who do you blame? You blame the parents.
I blame everybody.
Well, the parents should be teaching these kids.
The school system should be doing something too, Jim. Teaching these kids. It's off the subject, but the same subject. The kids get into my school bus, okay? Pushing, and who's on the bus first? The kids, the men, the boys. Pushing the girls out of the way.
Oh, really?
Well, in our day, girls were first.
Right.
The kids are gonna sit where they're gonna sit in the back of the bus anyways. Nobody's gonna sit in their
seats. You mean
seats.
they let the guys on first?
No, I'm talking about late ones. There's nobody there. So they're not taught to be respectful.
The boys have no manners.
Yes, they have no manners, and so that's something that's not taught. They're not being taught that.
Well, I think it goes both ways. I've been going into stores, and a girl will be in front of me, and she won't you hold the door for the next person. She doesn't do it. Well, I do that for everybody.
I do that too.
Okay, and you should do that for everybody. But these kids, I mean, in this case here, it was a young girl. They're like, I'm not holding the door. I'm not going to be nice.
I do that for the ladies all the time. If there's a lady behind
me, but I'm just saying, it just shows you how bad things have gone.
But everything thinks everything's so wonderful, and we got such a wonderful culture and people. We've got a bunch of mentally retarded kids that only care about themselves. Not taught anything, not taught manners, not taught anything.
Hey, that kind of leads us to another topic.
Well, I have another topic. I haven't finished.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I want to talk about the bottle bill, too. Okay. The same thing. Concord, Massachusetts. Hey, let's take bottled water out of the system.
No, plastic
bottled water. We won't have plastic bottles anymore. Other than what? I guess it could be 32 ounces or 64 ounces or something. I don't know. So, people are peeved. A lot of these little stores make a lot of money on bottled water. Why do they give a crap? I mean, just again.
Right, so
don't throw the bottle away.
So the whole point is they can sell bottled water, but it's got to be over so many ounces.
Yes, I think so. All
right. So
but the little, how many times, Jim?
I know.
Even at the Natick Parade years ago was hot. It was probably 95 degrees, hot as hell. People were selling bottled water, frozen bottled water. By the time you got it, it was a little bit, cold and ice, and you could drink it. That would be banned.
Yeah.
Imagine that. That would be banned.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that's.
It's just, and they tried. The guy tried to rescind it, and they still didn't do it because the goody two shoes save the whales. Don't want a whale swallowing.
Don't cut the trees down.
Yeah, don't swallow the bottle cap. Again, what does it boil down to? It boils down to don't litter.
Right.
Now, well, they have 5 cents on some of these bottles right now.
Well, like I said, I think when it comes to any of this type of law,
put money on it.
Yes, have it so that it gets recycled and there's a price on the top. I mean, on whatever the thing is.
That's probably helped immensely.
Well, I'm just saying, you don't see
bottles on the side of the road
You
anymore.
don't see plastic bottles or cans anymore on the side because it's a way that the poor people can make some money, and they do.
All right, and technology. I'll give you another example. When they made in our day, they had soda pop in glass containers, and you had to get a can opener and flip it open, Well, then they made the Coca-Cola cans. See, people don't even remember this. Coca-Cola cans with the flip tops. But the problem is, the flip tops came out, and then they threw the flip tops away at the beaches, and people were cutting their feet on these things. Sharp aluminum. So what do? You look at the cans today, and the cans are flipped, but they don't open. They don't come out. Right. So technology fixed that problem.
Right.
Even maybe they could do that with the bottle caps on these plastic water bottles, make it so it can't come off. Something. You don't want to have anything separated somewhere else, So the point with the bottle bills and all these things are, we got all these goody two-shoes, save the whale people. They mean well, and I can understand what they're saying, and they're right. We got, plastic bags are in the environment. They are, killing animals, but so aren't nets. You know what I mean? So what do they do? And I brought up about technology. Technology, they invent something, do something, and they fix things. And that's what has to happen somehow. How do you fix the problem? How do you make it easier? Plastic bags that dissolve, after 2 days. I don't know, whatever. They can do whatever they want, So that deals with that topic. They're going through all the town meetings now, and everybody's getting on the bandwagon. Everybody feels so wonderful about it. And I just think that, I think it should be up to each individual store. All right, so anyway, are we done with this topic?
Yeah.